Hello and welcome back to Exploring Superhuman Strength. So it's been about a month now that Martin and I have been experimenting with these different techniques of developing strength in the Indian tradition through the Dhandal and Bhasky and in China from the Yi Jin Jing. And after a month we thought it was about time to start experimenting with traditional super strength feats like strongman feats. And so we thought we'd start with bending a steel bar. Martin, for about the last week or so, has been bombarding me with emails about stockists of steel bars in the area, but luckily enough I've inherited an allotment here that came equipped with steel bars like these, and these might look quite rusty to you, but these are quite strong steel bars.
Actually, that's quite an intimidating looking one. That's the hardest one.
Yeah. So I think I'm ambitiously hoping to bend the smallest one there, but even that one you can see this steel bar about this kind of thickness. It's not bending when I smash it into a wooden post.
Well, research also I've done shows that ones that are empty like that are harder. The arc works like an arch. Yeah. Okay. Basically. So this is going to be tougher than it looks.
Yeah, this might be one that's a tube as well. Excellent.
Okay.
Right. So let's see how the experiment goes.
Okay, so this is the first attempt, and you're going to have an audio narration because we found it was far too windy, and it's extremely hard to narrate things when you're trying to bend metal bars.
And also I had to keep taking care of my kids there, making sure they were safe by the fire.
So before we'd attempted this, we looked at these bars, and I thought some of them might snap, but I didn't think we'd be able to bend.
I thought maybe the little ones, but Martin's having a go here. This is one of the smaller tubes, and that was a real confidence booster, I think.
Yes, we'd seen strongmen online, and we learned the different positions they use to brace to bend these bars.
The neck wasn't comfortable though, was it?
No, it didn't work for me. And it's worth mentioning when I say these bars, strongmen don't just bend random bars they find around the place. They actually use certain tempers of metal which can bend more easily, and they can make it into special shapes for their shows.
And also, if they're bending against their body like that, I think they pad themselves out, don't they?
Yeah, they wrap the ends. They don't just wear gloves, so obviously they've got this down to a fine art. But once I realised that I could bend that one, my confidence grew.
So this again are the relatively thin tubes. I didn't think I was going to be able to bend any of them. I've got no background in strength training at all. The only exercise I do is my yoga practice. And so I first started trying to bend it. It didn't bend. Then suddenly it moved.
Look at that joy.
Yeah, I was really happy. So I went on to this thicker bar, and this was quite a thick tube again. And again, it was, it took a moment, and I just had to focus a moment, and then suddenly there it was bent. With these tubes, once they're bent, then they're easy to move.
It's more of a snap than a bend.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning at this point, Joss and I, we've both practiced meditation for many years, and we've found that feats involving meditation are quite hard to do when you've got any distraction. So I remember we wanted slowing the heart rate down, while I was trying to show you, and having children around just distracted me too much to be able to do it. So you may have had a bit of divided focus, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that you'd already proven to yourself with that heart rate monitor that you could slow your heart rate down, but then in the presence of those same kids, it became impossible. The other thing that's important to note here is that while we practice meditation for an equal length of time, more or less, Martin's practiced strength training at the gym, lifting weights daily for at least a decade. And so he's got more muscle mass and that ability to kind of push the resistance. And you can see here that starts to pay off here. So even though we're focusing to some degree, Martin's muscle mass, I think, is allowing him that extra strength. But I will say that the focus was allowing me to do a lot more than I think I would normally be capable of under normal circumstances.
Do you think, in addition to those Dhandal Bhasky exercises, which can be seen on your YouTube channel, these Indian strength exercises, do you think it's important to learn to experience that, applying the strength, the pain of it, the strain of it?
Yeah, I am going to. I mean, I backed off here because there was pain on my body as I pulled the bar into my shin and so forth, and I could feel my muscles really straining.
Now this is the one. This is the one.
This was the biggest bar we had, and we found out later that this is called a M16 reinforced steel rod. It's used in the construction trade to reinforce concrete, and you can see the thickness of it. That's a solid steel bar, reinforced as well.
You can see here, when I first tried that was just immovable. This is very heavy, very solid bar. And I just thought, this isn't actually ever going to do anything. Joss had already tried and it had budged for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this moment of pure focus just there, and you're just seeing this right now, where I decided to let go of any fear of injury, and if this strength, this almost hysterical strength, suddenly this could come through pure focus. And I became very hot and took my top off, didn't care what anyone around would think. It's a very cold, windy day, but this bar was going to bend, and I started to feel like it was possible.
It was a real grapple, though. You almost became frantic trying the different positions. It was like it just had to happen. It just had to happen now. You were moving around. I seem to remember you found a stone slab to push it against. So.
Yes, we'd seen that strongmen brace against the ground sometimes at certain points in the bend, so I think that was in my subconscious. But at this point, it was just bend at all costs.
I couldn't believe it. I was filming this and seeing that bar bend. I really couldn't believe it.
For me, this was proof. It was proof for me that I could find another gear in my strength through focus.
So I think I'm going to now have to start to include more real strength training in my practice to build muscle mass and also to get used to using it that way. We'll see what happens next. So thanks very much for joining us again. I hope you've enjoyed this. Put your comments below. Thank you.